Hi, today we're looking at a table and how it relates to a graph. Just making sure we're going here, and we are. Okay, so let's look at this table. When I see the -2 and -2, I realize, that's just a different way to write the point -2, -2. And if I were to graph that point or plot that point, I go over 2, down 2, there it is. This point right here, the 0 in the x column and the -1 in the y column, that just means the point 0, comma -1. And if I were to plot it, it would be at 0, x is 0, so I can't go either way, and I would go down for 1. Same thing with this. This is the point 2, comma 0. If I were to plot that point, this is all stuff that you all know how to do. And let's bloop, 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 4, comma 0, let's plot that. And so we notice, these 4 points listed in the table are 4 points that are actually on this line. So is the table the same thing as the line? Not really, but the table represents some points in that line. We would say this table represents this line, because we could never write in a table all the points in a line, right? Because a line goes on forever on both ends. So our table would go on forever too, and wow, that would take us a long time. So why am I talking about tables? Well, in Delta Math, you're going to see a table, and their tables lie down. If you don't like that, you can certainly rewrite it so it's a standing up one. But even lying down, we can see right here, this means we have a point 0, comma -3. This point would be 1, comma 1, et cetera, et cetera. If you don't like those laying down tables, write them standing up. But let's say that Delta Math gave us this table that's lying down. And once again, we could rewrite if we wanted to as standing up. We could go ahead and it says graph and find the equation line. We could go ahead and graph, right? We could see that 0, -3. Let's find that point. 0 for x, -3 for y. There we go. And the next point is 1, comma 1. Let's graph that, or plot that rather. 1, comma 1 is there. This one's 2, comma 5. Do that. So over 2, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can see, right, these 3 points are all on the same line. And then we've got 3, comma 9. So we do 1, 2, 3, and up till 9. Let's see, what's that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we're going to like take a break, and we're not going to graph 4, comma 13 because we don't have 13. And I'm not going to extend the graph. You could on your paper if you wanted to. And let's go ahead and draw a line. Let's go ahead and draw an orange line through there. So let's see if we can do this. Okay, nice. So there's our line, and it really should have arrows on either end, but we're not going to be picky right now. So now that we have the line, we can say, hey, we know the equation. We know how to do that. It's y equals mx plus b. The slope is up 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. So we know the slope is 4. The y-intercept is down 1, 2, 3 is -3. So we can put those things together, and we can say that our line is y equals 4x minus 3. And you all have been doing a great job this past week writing the equation of the line. All right, so what if, let's pull this up a little bit. Hold on, I can't do that. Wait 1 second. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so, all right, there we go. Let's pull that up here. All right, what if on Delta Math, they give us a table that looks like this? Oh no, way too big to graph, and that's just going to be messy. How can we write the equation of the line that this table represents without graphing it? Because we're going to have to learn that. So let's go ahead and look back here for some clues. The table offered some clues. The first clue that it offered is, let's see, let's grab some. The first clue that it offered is right here, right? That gave us the point 0, -3, this point right here. That gave us the y-intercept. So we're going to be smart when we look at tables, and we're going to notice whenever x is equal to 0, oops, where'd it go? Whenever x is equal to 0, the y value is our y-intercept, which is our b. That's our b. So that -3 came from the table. We didn't have to graph to find that. Pretty cool, right? And then we think about slope. And yeah, it's really easy to find slope looking at a graph. right? Rise over run. But it's also pretty easy to find the slope given 2 points. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus, and let me switch let's switch to green. We're going to focus on 2 points. I'm just going to kind of square off or rectangle off the table here. If I just look at the 2 points, 2, 5, and 3, 9, which 2, 5 right here, and 3, 9 is right here, I know that rise is actually the change in the y, right? I go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I can get that 4 from looking at the change in the y's here. How I do that is I start with the bottom number and I do a hoop. And I say, all right, I started at 9, but I went to 5. Now, you could do it the opposite way too, all right? But this is the way I like to do it. Start with the bottom and then hoop up. 9 minus 5 is 4. That is the change in my y values. And then when I think about my run, well, let's see, I went up 4, and then I ran over 1 because the change in the x value was just 1. Look, if I do my hoops, 3 minus 2, there you go. There's my 1. And then you're like, well, wait, Ms. Overby, the slope is 4. What's going on? How do I know what to do with? I'm trying to like do a line. Okay, that's crazy mess. All right, what do I do with both the 4 and the 1? Well, what you have to remember is the slope, and I'm writing with my finger, so excuse me if it doesn't look great. Slope is always rise over run. This is our rise right here, so it goes on the top. The change in the y values is our rise, and our run is right here. The change in the x values are 1. And we know 4 over 1 is the same thing as 4. So look at that. We could use the table, and this table represents this line. We could use the table to find the equation of the line. So let's do that one more time. And then, those that do the doing do the learning. And so I want you to go ahead and have plenty of time left to practice this on Delta Math. All right, we know that we are going to use the formula y equals, man, it's so hard to write with my finger, mx plus b. And by the way, if you haven't taken any notes, I would take some notes. Maybe pause this video and there's a dog barking right outside my house. Pause this video and get something to write with and something to write on. And so we learned, whenever we see that x is 0, we know that the y that goes along with that is my y-intercept. So man, we're good to go. We already have one of the numbers down. Our b is 9. But now we have to find the slope given the points. And so I don't like that this is a laying down graph, but yet to make it a stand-up graph, I'd have to probably pause. Let's see if we can do this without making it lie down or stand up. Let's go ahead and focus on these ones. How about we focus on these two? Okay. We're still going to do the difference in the y values. Here's the deal. We could say 12 minus 15, but then we'd have to say 1 minus 2. Whichever one you start with for the y's, you have to start with the same one for the x. I always like to start with the bigger number. It just then I have to deal with negatives. So sometimes we have a negative, obviously. But I'll say 15 minus 12. Well, that's 3. So I'm going to remember my slope. Whenever I subtract those y's, that number goes on the top. So my top number is going to be 3. And then I'm going to do, that's my rise. Then I'm going to do my run. I'm going to look at the x values. I say 2 minus 1 is 1. Are we always going to have that 1? Well, if the x column goes up by 1 with each number, yeah, that's always going to be 1. Sometimes we'll see a table that skips around, and our bottom number won't be 1. And we know that 3 divided by 1 is 3. So that's our slope. So if we put this all together, I'm going to switch to typing this because that's a lot easier. We're going to have y equals, our slope is 3, so 3x plus, and our y-intercept is 9. So there we go. We found the equation of the line without even having to graph it. So what I'd like for you to do is go ahead and rewind this video a little bit, take some good notes, and then start your Delta Math assignment where you too will look at these laying down tables and find the equation of the line that the tables represent without even graphing it. All right, have fun.